Welcome, dear listener. You've come to a quiet place tonight. Let the noise of the world rest for a while. Feel your breath soften, your shoulders ease. This is Wordy Tales, where stories flow gently, like rivers carrying light. And tonight's story is called The River That Never Stops. It's a story about faith, patience, and the steady rhythm of daily discipline. Because sometimes, motivation burns bright and disappears. But the power that truly changes lives is the one that whispers, "Keep going." So, close your eyes if you like, and let this story guide your heart. In a small, sunlit village surrounded by hills and winding rivers, lived a young man named Ravi. He was clever, good-hearted, and full of dreams, yet his spirit was always restless. One day, he'd wake inspired to build something great. The next, he'd grow tired and stop halfway. He started writing a book once, filled 3 pages, then gave up. He began to learn music, practiced for a week, then left the flute in the corner. He promised to wake early for prayer, but within days, his mornings slipped away. He often said to himself, "I want to change my life. I just can't stay consistent." People in the village admired his ideas, but they knew Ravi didn't finish what he started. One evening, as the sun melted into gold behind the fields, Ravi sat with his father on the porch. The old man was quiet, trimming dry leaves from a plant beside him. He said, "Ravi, do you know why this plant grows even in dry seasons?" Ravi shrugged. His father smiled. "Because every morning, even when it rains or shines, I water it. Just a little. I never stop." He looked at his son. "You chase moments of fire, my boy. But fire burns out. Be like the sunrise every day, even if it's hidden behind clouds." Ravi listened silently, unsure how to answer. Days passed. Ravi tried again to change, to build a habit, to be steady. He prayed, read, worked hard for a week, then fell into old patterns again. "Maybe God isn't listening," he muttered one evening, discouraged. "Maybe I'm just not meant to do anything great." That night, unable to sleep, he walked to the river outside the village. The moonlight shimmered across its quiet surface. The water moved endlessly, whispering to itself. He sat by the riverbank, head in his hands. "Why can't I be like this?" he whispered. Always moving forward, always calm. And in that silence, he heard a gentle voice behind him. An elderly hermit had been sitting under a large banyan tree nearby. He was known in the village as a man of wisdom, a traveler who had once been lost in the noise of the world, but found peace through God's guidance. The old man said softly, "You're asking the river a question, aren't you?" Ravi turned. I was just thinking." The hermit smiled faintly. "The river never stops, my son. It moves through rocks, storms, and sunlight. It doesn't ask, 'Why me?' It simply flows, trusting the path God carved for it." He picked up a pebble and tossed it into the water. "See how it makes ripples? That's how daily effort works. Each small act of discipline creates ripples of change, even if you can't see the shore yet." Ravi asked, "But what if I fail again? What if I lose faith?" The hermit looked up at the stars. "Then pray. Not for strength to do great things, but for the grace to do small things faithfully. Even God's greatest miracles began with simple obedience." The next morning, Ravi woke early. He didn't make grand promises to himself this time. He just whispered, "Today, I will do one small thing well." He watered the plants. He prayed for 5 minutes. He worked in the field quietly until the sun grew hot. It wasn't easy, his old habits tugged at him. But each day, he returned. Each day, he added one more small stone to the bridge he was building across his own doubt. And day by day, something changed, not outside, but within. He began to find peace in the act of showing up. He realized that consistency wasn't punishment, it was freedom. Freedom from the chaos of starting and quitting. Ober and Dober. One season, the rains didn't come. The earth cracked, the river grew thin, and the villagers began to lose hope. Many gave up their crops. But Ravi, remembering the hermit's words, kept working one small act at a time. He prayed daily. He saved every drop of water he could find. He sang softly as he worked, trusting that God would see his effort. Weeks passed, then one morning, a light drizzle touched the fields. The rain returned, soft, gentle, life-giving. And when the sun rose, only Ravi's field had survived the drought. Not because of luck, but because he never stopped. Months later, Ravi returned to the river. The hermit was there again, sitting under the same banyan tree. Ravi knelt before him and said, "I did what you told me. I worked, I prayed, I stayed consistent, even when I didn't see results." The old man smiled. "And what have you learned, child?" Ravi looked at the water, flowing peacefully. "I learned that God doesn't bless big bursts of effort. He blesses quiet faith, the kind that keeps moving, one step at a time." The hermit nodded. "Then you understand the secret of life. Motivation is like the wind, it comes and goes. But discipline is like the river, it flows no matter what. And faith is the source that feeds it." Years passed. Ravi became known throughout the region not as a man of wealth, but as a man of faith and peace. He helped rebuild the community's fields, taught children how to plant, and always began his lessons with one simple line: "Do something small, but do it every day." And in his old age, when others asked how he achieved so much, Ravi would smile and say, "I didn't chase greatness. I just didn't stop flowing." Stop. Dear listener, this story teaches us that motivation fades, but consistency remains. When we stop waiting for the perfect time and start honoring each ordinary day, God begins to bless our steps. Every prayer, every effort, every small act of good you repeat is building something sacred inside you. So when you feel weak, remember the river. It doesn't rush, it doesn't rest, it doesn't quit. It flows, trusting its creator to lead it home. Thank you for being here. Dear soul, if this story touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share, so more hearts can learn that true strength lives in small, steady steps. Life isn't changed by bursts of inspiration, but by gentle faith, one sunrise at a time. Until next time, walk slowly, pray deeply, and remember, even the quietest river reaches the sea, because it never stops flowing. Wordy Tales is a soft watercolor and ink-style illustration showing a young man, Ravi, standing beside a gently flowing river under golden morning light. He wears a simple cream cotton shirt and a loose scarf. His reflection ripples in the water, symbolizing inner peace and quiet strength. In the background, soft green hills and an old hermit sitting under a banyan tree by the riverside. The sky is painted in warm sunrise tones of gold and peach, giving a spiritual, hopeful feeling.